Hi, I'm Virginia.
And I'm Bianca.
We are the identical twins from the Dying Movie Race. Alright, so this week we are going to do a series that we have planned called Riffing Riffraff. It's going to be us talking about some of the bad movies we saw. And just
riffed.
Yeah, that we riffed, like all Mystery Science Theater 3000.
We didn't watch them for the fun of it.
No, we watched these to study them and to make fun of them. And, you know, in order to understand movies, you have to see the bad side of it too, and that sometimes means the really, really painful side of it. And just so you know, if you want a more, I guess you could say, professional opinion, I wrote reviews to these movies on our blog, The Dying Movie Race, but if you don't mind some very foul language, then continue listening, because we're just going to be giving honest thoughts instead of just, like, you know, real intellectual review of garbage. Okay, so this week we are talking about...
We'll be talking about some of the later musicals that we've done.
From the 50s and 60s, to be specific, yeah.
Tonight we're going to be talking about Sincerely Yours, Looking for Love, one of our favorite ones we riffed, and Where the Boys Are. The Boys Meet the Girls, not Where the Boys Are. That's a good one. My bad.
Well, when we say favorite ones we riffed, we don't mean we liked the movie. We mean we liked our riff.
It was really easy riffing it.
Oh, yeah. All three of these movies are totally worth riffing if you want to just make fun of bad movies.
If you love bad movies and you love riffing them, definitely watch all three of these. Again, they're Sincerely Yours, Looking for Love, and Where the Boys Meet the Girls.
Yeah, none of them... I mean, they were all... Don't get me wrong, they were all terrible, but I don't remember anything... Well, Looking for Love had some rough spots, but I don't remember anything too, like, that was, like, offensive.
Yeah, no, that's what I was going to say.
We'll get to those another time, and you'll notice we get more angry when we talk about movies that are offensive, or where everybody is movies where everyone's an awful person, just because those movies really, like, piss me off.
Like, these movies didn't hurt my brain or anything. They were just bad, but...
They were mindless, garbage.
My brain didn't hurt afterwards, and it didn't offend me like Sexkins Go to College or Golden Dawn.
We'll get to those. Yeah. So we'll just do, like, the worst human beings possible one week. And we will talk about those.
Maybe there are some people out there who like them, but I don't want to meet them. I guess the person who wrote it might have liked it. I don't know.
Well, who knows?
I don't think the actors liked it very much.
Odds are, if you like any of these three movies, you like it because it sucks. You're one of those. You enjoy it because it sucks. Or it's a guilty pleasure. Even then, it's a guilty pleasure because it sucks.
Yeah.
Not because... I don't think there's people who legitimately think these are good movies and like them for that reason. Yeah. Because they're not. They are really obviously bad.
Or you might be a diehard Liberace or Connie Francis fan.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm a Connie Francis fan, but... I mean, I can only go so far with some things. I mean, I'll watch Where the Boys Are, like, all the time. I'll watch that lots of times, but I can't... it doesn't mean I'll like these movies.
Yeah, and... it's just, they're bad. But we'll get into all the details. We're going to go chronological order. So we're going to start with Sincerely Yours. Okay, first, we're going to start with some background of the movie. So Sincerely Yours is a remake of the 1932 George Arliss movie, The Man Who Played God. I just wanted to make sure I got the year right.
Yeah.
It's 31.
It also had Betty Davis and Donald Cook in it, along with a very young Ray Milland.
Yeah, good movie. Totally recommend
I love that one.
Yeah, it's enjoyable. It's... has heart to it. It's a good movie.
I think why we were so mad at Sincerely Yours is because it wasn't the man from God.
If you take The Man Who Played God and made it schmaltzy and, like, sugary crap. Like, if you just, like, vomited pixie dust on it.
Just take everything out of it that actually made it sentimental.
So George Arliss. Just take George Arliss. Yeah, so... George Arliss is definitely one of those actors that I feel like if a lot of his movies got remade, they just wouldn't be as good in general, just because
he makes them.
And like even like when his movies, like a lot of his movies are enjoyable, like even on their own, but he just adds that extra like charm to them.
I was gonna say he's so charming. He's delightful.
Yeah, so I feel like if if they were to remake them and give them like that modern feel, they just wouldn't work as
It'd be
well.
like
Case in point, this movie.
Yeah. It'd be like if they remade like something like The Devil Miss Jones who didn't have Charles Coburn in it. And you need Charles Coburn there.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and also some background. This movie is a famously bad movie that bad movie lovers like to watch and make fun of. It's an easy target. This movie is easy to make fun of. There's like, and
I mean, its heart's in the right place.
Yeah, there's nothing like offensive about it. It's just it's sugary crap.
Yeah, it's like they were just really trying.
Everything's over the top.
They put the sugar coating to 11 and then forgot to have a heart there. And
it
didn't even make.
Go ahead.
Okay, they didn't make Liberace, which
that really
annoyed.
Me out, but it's super pretentious. Like, oh my god, is this movie pretentious?
Yeah.
I mean, George Arliss is one of the greatest men of the stage, and his version wasn't pretentious, but this one was with Liberace.
Yeah, I mean, I can see where they were going with the fact that George Arliss plays a pianist and the man who played God, but aside from that, there's really no reason why this was remade with Liberace, because also he's obviously an older man, and the man who played God, and it's Sincerely Yours, he's not.
It loosens some of the tension, but also, as we were saying, I think our biggest gripe with this movie, like, at least one thing we really complain about is we're like, why is Liberace so boring in this movie?
Yeah, I want to see fun, flamboyant, candelabra Liberace.
Well, we're going to talk about, When the Boys Meet the Girls later, and he has a musical number in that. In that one, you're like, oh, good, we're actually watching Liberace,
well,
because
here he was finally able to be himself, but it wasn't until the end, unfortunately.
Yeah. But like, I mean, I don't watch Liberace, like, programs, but I've seen him perform before, like on like I've seen like clips of TV and
his
stuff.
music's very lovely too.
Yeah,
very, very beautiful.
And I know about all those in jokes like, oh, I wish my brother George was here and things like that. But well, one thing with him, it's watching him play the piano is very enjoyable because like his hands are moving around.
It's
everywhere.
like watching Chico Marx play the
piano. It totally is, because he's like his hands are jumping around like on top of each other. Like he's giving a performance with his hands.
It's like when you see Jose Iturbi play too. Like that's always fun because I just love seeing his fingers move like like ungodly speeds.
That's what watching Liberace is. But that's not it here. The difference I think being Liberace's music is very modern, like and When the Boys Meet the Girls, I remember he sings Aruba in that one.
Yeah, that was fun.
That's because his hands are all over the place and it has an upbeat speed. It's a Liberace song. This movie has him playing classical music.
Except one part, which I mentioned in my blog this week when I did Rhapsody in Blue. He does a Gershwin melody, which is probably the best part of the movie, along with the ending when he gets to be himself too.
Yeah, because he's playing a Liberace song.
It just if those because he would play standards like that, so you do get to see some of him there, but also just because they sound really pretty when he plays them. I mean, he does real justice to them.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are like really the only two parts that I would like recommend you just like watch. Like you could still riff them, but I mean they really but they're actually good parts.
Well, they actually have again just
like if the film was that, it would have been okay.
Yeah, but I mean also there's so many famous people you can get to play like classical pianists. Why did you get Liberace, who's not known for playing classical piano?
And also if you want to introduce him to movies, why'd you give him a drama? Like that.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
That rarely works. I mean, it did. I know it worked with people like Fabian and Tommy Sands. But it can't work with that one. And Liberace's not one of those people who could, because he's also a funny, enjoyable person. So it makes no sense. Well, Tommy Sands and Fabian sort of have that sulky.
And that was always his, at least from when, again, I don't watch Liberace, but when I've seen him, he's very, upbeat. Energetic and upbeat. So, I mean, and, his other, when he's made cameos in other movies, they've been comedy movies. Where he, should have, if he wanted to break into movies.
Like in The Loved One, he's his scene in that is actually probably it's one of the most famous scenes in the movie where he sells coffins, and that's funny.
Yeah, Liberace selling coffins. Yeah,
I mean,
that's something you
give
can
him something funny to do, and he can do it. But here, you probably should have got someone like Cornell Wilde or someone like that to play it.
Oh, I actually think I was thinking that too. I was like, why not?
Or Paul Henry, people who played. I don't know. I'm naming people who played pianists, but those are naturally the ones I'm thinking
Power
of.
while you're at it.
Sure, I'd watch the hell out of that. I'd be like, this is the best movie. Tyrone Power's in it. The script could be the same. I'd be like, but Tyrone Power's in it.
It was, and another thing that I think people are gonna want to bring up is how much he overacts in this movie, because again, this is not his forte. This like high melodrama,
because it's his first lead role. So again, he's obviously I don't blame him for being uncomfortable if he was.
Yeah.
I mean, this film's failure is not his fault. It really lies in the script and
the casting.
Yeah, I mean, they should have known better.
And just the tone is bad. Like again, it's pretentious.
It doesn't know when to be laid back, and it switches from schmaltzy to like trying to be fun, like a little too much. It's kind of like a whiplash, so you don't know when it's supposed to be serious and when it's not.
It's uneven.
Yeah.
Whereas the old one is much shorter than this one too, but it's also very even. Like the tone and the pace are very
absolutely
are perfect for the material. With this, it's all over the place.
Yeah,
it's just awkward.
Well, also in the original, when he sort of gets fed up with life and becomes a recluse pianist.
Yeah.
He it really shows him just giving up on life. While this one doesn't really build that up very well.
Yeah. Okay, and there's one scene I definitely want to bring up.
Yeah.
Where it's a scene, he and Dorothy Malone go to a museum.
She has the Betty Davis part.
Yeah.
And naturally, I know that sounds really juicy.
I know you're like, whoa, Dorothy Malone and a Betty Davis part? I want to watch
and
that.
And Joe Andrews in it too, but don't let the leading ladies fool you.
Yeah. None of them get to be what they do best. They don't get to do what they do best in this movie. They're just window dressing.
Unfortunately.
They're
very good actresses.
Yeah, they're great, but no one's great in this. So,
but yeah, they're at this museum.
It's all these famous dead pianos.
It's like, there's a Handel's piano.
It was like
I don't think it was Handel's, no. Like Beethoven's piano.
Yeah, all these classical musicians' pianos. And the security guard, it was the security guard, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. He should do his damn job.
Yeah. He lets Liberace's character, when no one's around, play those pianos. And watching it, we're like, this is super pretentious, right?
I could get sort of the idea behind that he will play each classical composer's music when he gets to their piano, sure, but wrong context,
and this is museum property. I feel like you could get arrested for doing this, and rightfully so.
And those pianos are so old. There's a reason why people don't go up and play them, because they don't want to ruin them.
Yeah,
it's not because the museums are being assholes. They don't want people going up touching their sculptures or their paintings, because they have to preserve them.
Yeah, imagine that. The museum actually wants to keep their stuff fine, but it's also okay, so, he's important enough that he can do this. He can stand alongside Mozart and all these people. It wasn't Mozart's piano, but,
Yeah.
I don't
but I don't remember whose pianos were there.
I don't remember. It could have been Mozart's, who knows? Why not just go open up some graves and fondle the corpses while you're at it? Why don't you just do that,
Punch some tombstones and dance
sneeze on some paintings. We'll just have a whole,
that'd be like someone, a famous, painter going to a museum and someone saying, you could touch all the paintings, go ahead.
Yeah, exactly.
Feel their artwork,
do you want to remove it from the frame? You can do that.
Go ahead, paint on top of it.
Or, it would be I guess you can say, I don't even know, but I wanted to think of another example, and I couldn't think of one, because it's I don't want to think of one. It's pretentious.
But, when we went to see how films were preserved, they weren't touch the film. Touch the films. The very expensive,
we gotta touch the Oscar. That was about it. But, luckily.
Without even wearing gloves, that was nice.
That was nice, but hands were clean, so it was all good.
Whose Oscar was it? Was it Harold Daniels?
I think it was, yeah.
It's funny how we don't remember. We're just Oscar.
Because we're Oscar! Yeah.
And the legend is true, they are heavier than you would expect.
Yeah. Don't we sound pretentious now?
Oh yeah, we sound like Liberace playing the piano.
Exactly. It's just the theme of the movie, pretentiousness.
It's spilling off on us.
Yeah, help us. Okay, so we should talk about the woman in this movie because we
Yep.
kind of brought them up.
Yep.
All
Well, because they do like in the original, they were part of the plot. And here, I mean,
yeah.
I guess you could say they are.
Also, it's one of those plots where Joe and Drew in this version, like in the old version, she's a friend of his. But
Yeah.
in this version, which this isn't a bad,
Yeah.
update to do where she works for him.
She's a love-struck secretary.
Yeah, like we haven't seen that a gazillion times.
I'll take it. But if Joe and Drew's playing it,
That's true. If Joe and Drew was playing it in a good movie,
Yeah.
I would watch that. But yeah, if she was playing it in in one of her like Red River, if she was secretary in that, it would be okay. No, I'm just kidding. But anyway, so yeah, she's the love-struck secretary, and and it's one of those movies where the main character's stupid because he doesn't realize she likes him, and it's super obvious.
It's Joe and Drew.
Wouldn't you notice her? I mean, like, yeah, you'd be like, oh, what? When did he notice, like, oh, my secretary is hot and she likes me?
She was good enough for Dick Haynes and John Ireland.
And she, like, was on screen with Jimmy Stewart and all these, like, handsome men.
Yeah, exactly. Like, the most handsome men in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Alan Ladd.
But that's all make believe. Like, anyway, and so Dorothy Malone, as we said, is Betty Davis in this movie.
Sexy Dorothy Malone comes. Actually, she's not really doesn't get really be sexy.
She doesn't even get a juicy part. She's
naturally sexy. I mean, who she is. But yeah,
she dates Liberace and she's interested in him, but not too much.
Yeah.
That's I just gave you her whole character.
Yeah, she falls for someone else just like in the original.
Yeah.
Oh, didn't see that coming.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, totally. And just like the original, it's Liberace just becoming deaf and he can't play the piano anymore.
So he reads people's lips outside and he realizes they all have problems and he decides to help him. In the original, it's really touching when he does that.
In the original, he does it like anonymously, and he tried, and it's not anonymous.
No, he's like, come with me.
Yeah, he's like, going to their parties.
Yeah,
and he invites a kid over for Christmas. It's like, like I know you're being really nice and stuff, but aren't you like really benefiting from?
Yeah, it's because a man who played God, he's not doing it to get the credit. He's doing it to just naturally help people.
Exactly.
He makes his butler go up and give them when he gives them money and stuff. He makes his butler do it.
Yeah,
and his butler likes doing it. So yeah, it's a really touching. They're really touching.
Yeah,
scenes.
and in the original, no one ever finds out who's been helping them. It's just
they all want to know. They all want to say who was it. And he said, "Oh, he wishes to remain anonymous."
Yeah. But in this case,
and he sees them how happy they are. Yeah. That's all the thanks he needs.
In this case, like for instance,
Lorraine Tuttle.
Yeah, like it's. The plots, like, I can understand the plots that they wrote, but yet they make them sugary when
because they're different people he helps, but like with Lorraine Tuttle, she plays a woman whose daughter, like, she doesn't want her daughter to be ashamed of her. It's kind of like a Lady for a Day thing.
Yeah, we're Stella Dallas, kind of, but like on a much lesser scale, because it's like, it's only because she's like lower class. There's nothing like wrong with her as a person. She's fine.
I'm pretty sure her daughter was Lori Nelson. I could be wrong, but I think it
could have been,
we haven't seen this in a couple of years.
Yeah. Oh, too bad. Oh man,
no.
It doesn't
we should go see it again.
I'm good.
Anyway, he like makes her look like, she's this important person by bringing her, like, by coming to a party she throws or something like that, and makes and then plays the piano there, and everybody's like, oh my god, he's so cool, your mom must be cool because she brought him,
because she brought this amazing man, she brought God.
And then the boy he helps needs surgery, and so he pays for her surgery, and then he gives him a Christmas because they're poor, and that's a nice part, but again, he's taking the credit for it,
and it's super like sugary. It's like, oh my gosh, I don't need all this sugar. I'm getting diabetes.
Like I said, its heart's in the right place. It's just the way it handles it. It's
totally
not nearly. It's not even in the same stratosphere as The Man Who Played God, where it's a movie that just really makes you feel nice.
Yeah.
And then there's the part where he finds out that that Betty Davis character loves Donald Cook.
Yeah.
And again, he finds that out here too, because how he tries to help people and he realizes he can help her
because
by
he
giving
reads her
up.
lips, and
Yeah.
and he realizes she doesn't love him, and then the whole self-sacrifice plot ensues.
And it's not done nearly as well
then he has
here.
to end up with Joe Andrew. I know, isn't it so sad?
It's a tragedy.
It's so sad.
And
you go from one beautiful woman to another.
But I said it doesn't feel like a sacrifice here.
No. And it also, like...
Maybe it's because they have no chemistry.
Not only that, but they don't have a lot of scenes together.
She's there when he plays the pianos, and that's about it.
That's about it, because the rest of the movie, she's, like, gone.
Yeah.
She's out.
She's off with, like, the other guy she likes. Who, I forget, plays him.
Yeah, I can look it up real quick, but,
someone like Warren Stevens. It might not be him, but someone like that.
Yeah, it's someone Warren Stevens asked. If it's not him. But, so...
Oh, and see if it was Laurie Nelson, see if I was right about that.
Probably should have checked before recording.
Because believe it or not, when we work on doing stars' filmographies, like, we do that. Believe it or not, this isn't on her filmography of best films, so I naturally wouldn't remember it.
Alex Nichol plays the other guy.
Oh, yeah.
And you got a Laurie Nelson.
Oh, okay, yeah, it was Laurie Nelson, but yeah, it's Alex Nichol.
Yeah.
Okay. I can see that. I remember it now.
This is a movie where if you're into old movies, you're gonna recognize everybody, and you're gonna be bummed out because you're gonna be like, "Oh man, this person made this."
I mean, Alex Nichol did do the Mystery Science Theater movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's not off the hook. Yeah. He did Screaming Skull.
Yeah, that's it, because he plays the Mickey, the gardener.
He plays Mickey on that?
Yes. Oh. Don't you recognize? That's Alex.
I know he directed it. And you're right. Yeah. He does.
But then we think of things like Red Ball Express and All Is Right with the World.
Yeah. So let's talk about some jokes and stuff that you can do with this. Okay. I do want to bring this up. I don't find Liberace's gay jokes to be funny, just because that's. It's one no, and
it's also a fact. It's not a joke,
and it's also like he's bad in this movie, but he's not bad because he's not bad because in love scenes because he's gay. He's bad.
He's not an actor.
He's not an actor. Yeah. Rock Hudson is amazing in love scenes. So is Dirk Bogarde and
Tab Hunter.
Yeah. We don't say anything. We wouldn't say anything, that they're not good at that. So
no, it's not funny.
Yeah, I think maybe we made one joke kind of like it just because in context we said something like that, but I don't, because I remember we both just weren't into making those type of jokes. We were like, I'd rather make fun of the movie itself other than the actor.
It's also just a cheap shot. There's so much you can make fun of, and that's really just
and it's not funny.
I said it. Yeah,
it's really
not funny.
He was gay. Hilarious.
I said it's a fact. That's not funny. That's like being like, Doris Day was a singer. It's funny because it's a fact.
Yeah. It can work in context. Like if in a movie she says, "Oh, I can't sing," and then you go,
or she's like in Romance in the High Seas where Janice Page is like, I can't sing. I'm like, honey.
Yeah, it's like that, And and Lily, when Lizzie Cameron says she can't dance, I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah.
You're one of the best dancers ever.
That's why she dances in her daydreams, get it? But anyway. Well, why am I thinking about Lily when I'm talking about this? One of my favorite movies.
Yeah, let's not compare
our favorite movies.
Yeah, let's not compare one of the greatest movies of all time to this.
Anyway. I feel like I'm trying to remember because again it was a while ago. Some of our jokes and stuff. Again, we were just sort of joking, oh yeah, isn't this man so amazing?
And we just kept going back to the piano.
We couldn't let that go. That bothered us. Maybe a little more than it
when he's playing the Gershwin melody, we're like, now he's gonna go play Gershwin's piano.
That's right. We were making jokes like that. Yeah.
And also, we always do actor connections, like Dorothy.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Dorothy Malone, let's connect something to...
Or compare a better movie.
Yeah, exactly.
A better movie she was in.
Or, or pretend that she's talking to one of her many leading men, Robert Stack, or something.
Yeah, we love doing jokes like that.
We mostly do... most of our roasts, we do actor connections, because it's really easy to come up with that, and it's kind of funny to, allude to a better movie.
Yeah, and it's also, if you're a movie buff, it's hard not to.
Yeah,
all these things, you
can't
help but make connections. So yeah, a lot of connections, especially in this one because everybody. Yeah. And I think that, but this movie is all three of these movies are super easy to riff.
Yeah.
This one is like the one I think most people would
Will
enjoy
riff,
making
yeah.
fun of.
I
Because
highly recommend riffing all three of these. You'll have a lot of fun.
You'll have a lot of fun. Yeah, this one is the one I think most people will get more the most enjoyment out of. Like,
I would like to riff it again.
Yeah, maybe
like all these.
In
obviously,
in the future.
In the future. I mean, I'll riff them again.
Yeah. When it's been a while, but like
there's so many new jokes I could do.
But before we end, I do want to just talk about one thing before we go to the next one. Alright, so with this movie, it's one of those movies where, okay, yeah, the plot is sugary, and everything that happens in it is sugary. I know plots in musicals don't really matter, the music does. But
they do matter in some way.
In some way. But in this one, the musical scenes, they're so long.
Yeah, and you could forgive any musical if the plot's non-existent, if at least the songs are good.
But the
songs were disappointing.
It stops the film in its tracks. Again, it's just watching. It's watching a concert.
Yeah, I have nothing against classical music. I like it when Jose Iturbi plays it.
We grew up listening to the Amadeus soundtrack, so I grew up listening to Mozart and all these classic composers. But,
we listened to Vivaldi a lot.
Oh yeah, definitely grew up on Vivaldi, and we had all these videos of kids dancing to these classical music. I have nothing against it, but just watching it over and over and over again, and nothing happening in these scenes. He's just playing the piano, and it's not.
And he looks depressed. He's like, "No, I don't want." He's like, "No, I want to be myself.
I want to play Aruba and wear a sparkly jacket." He wears a sparkly jacket.
I know. When at the end when he did that, we were cheering. We're like, "Oh my god, finally!"
A Liberace movie with Liberace in it. Imagine.
Yeah, I don't know who that guy was, but he was.
Who wasn't Liberace? That's for sure.
I wasn't enjoying myself. I should be enjoying myself. When
yeah. But the movie just dies during these scenes because they take. You and I just kept saying that was another big riff we had, or how long those scenes felt. Because this movie, I don't think is very long, but holy shit, it felt like an eternity.
Well, and also it doesn't help that the original
it's so short. It's like an hour. Yeah,
it's a 1932 movie. They naturally don't go on very long.
1932 programmer. They do go quick.
But this one felt. Yeah, when I think back to it, it feels like it was 2.5 hours long.
Me too. And I've seen bad movies that at least, felt short. This wasn't one of them. This movie felt...
Although, it felt quicker than Maine. That felt like it was 4 hours long.
Felt... wait till we get to that one. I have a lot to say
we'll save that one for another time.
At least Liberace can play the piano in this. And,
They can actually do the thing
he can actually do the thing he was hired to do. The main attraction in this movie is Liberace plays the piano. Does Liberace play the type of songs, he played on TV? Nope, he plays classical music. And, you spend a lot of that movie just looking at him playing a piano and playing these songs that, you can hear in Amadeus. I don't know. I don't want to watch it.
Just if you really want to watch Liberace, go actually watch Liberace. Don't watch him in this. And if you want to riff a cheesy, campy movie, then watch this.
Yeah. Leonard Maltin called this the first horror musical.
And if you want to watch the story, watch The Man Who Played God.
Yes. If you want to watch a good movie with this plot, watch The Man Who Played God. If you want to watch a movie and just make fun of it because it's awful and it's stupid and it's, and it just falls flat on its face, and this definitely does it for a lot of people. There's a lot you can do with this, but those piano scenes, oh my gosh, they feel like an eternity.
Now, Looking for Love.
Yeah.
Which was, like we said, our favorite movie we riffed.
One of them.
Yeah, one of them. Because we just had the best time ever. This is, the easiest film ever to riff.
Yeah, it's so easy to riff for many reasons. One, this one, part of it, I know I said none of these movies are, really, bothered me on an emotional level. This one kind of did.
Yeah.
And I mentioned that because, Connie Francis and Jim Hutton's characters in this movie are assholes.
And we really love them in normal circumstances.
I love Jim Hutton, I do.
I adore that man. I'll watch him. I watch him in almost anything.
Me too. Yeah. I would watch that man do anything. But
He's Ellery Queen. I don't want to see him be an
Yeah.
asshole.
I want to see him solve a mystery. But
Yeah, I want to see him with Paula Prentice.
yeah. I don't want to see him in this, where he has to be like an awful, awful person.
And he's like as likable as an actor can
He
get.
is. I didn't think it was possible to hate him until
know.
I saw this movie.
I know. And it's not his fault, it's really the way the characters were. Nobody. If Jim Hunting can't make him likable, nobody can.
It's like how when I was talking...
Robert Walker couldn't make him likable. Roddy McDowell couldn't make him likable.
I wrote a blog post of the top 10 riffraff jerks of the bad movies we saw, where there were characters that I just couldn't stand, and I did the top 10 of that. And this was the only movie that had two characters, because I have both Connie Francis and Jim Hutton in that movie in my top 10. Yeah. And I remember I also had like people like speak, but just because it reminds me of this, I had Marna Miller from Sex Kids.
Again, someone I didn't think I could dislike.
And that's what I said. I thought it was impossible to dislike Martin Milner, but nope, it's not.
And again, we've seen him in many good things. But naturally, we said there's only so many Route 66 jokes you could make.
Yeah. There's probably... We're probably going to mention Six Kids Go to College a couple times just because we compare a lot to that, just because that's the worst movie we've ever seen.
We've agreed.
Yeah, we both agree that is the worst, but we'll get to that another day. But anyway, so...
Or Dark Day.
We're going to be so mad that day.
At least here we don't have to be mad.
No, but I'm mad at these characters. I am mad at
Well, I'm mad that you wasted Jim Hutton, but yeah.
Yes, Jim Hutton especially, because he's such a charming actor. But, alright, so let's talk about the stupid-ass plot of this movie.
Okay, so...
Connie Francis wants to become famous.
Yeah, so she invents this mannequin thing. I don't remember what it is.
I don't remember. And then she becomes famous.
Because the plot really takes backseat to everything else.
Just the stupid shit that goes on,
And so it's really just a whole bunch of stuff happening. It's not really a plot either.
And there's all these guest stars, and I'm like, why are you here?
But they're seriously on for 2 seconds and they leave.
I'm like, why are you here? You are talented. Go do something good.
Like, you get to see Jim Hutton with Paula Prentice, but it's only for 2 seconds, unfortunately, because obviously they're known for always working together.
Teams,
yeah. So
they're a movie screen
so
team.
Naturally, they don't even make a joke about them always working together.
No, it's a wasted cameo.
Yeah. And there's also Yvette Mimeo, and the incredibly handsome George Hamilton.
And Johnny Carson, who famously, like, if you've heard of this movie, you've heard of it because Johnny Carson makes jokes about it.
Like, The Horn Blows at Midnight.
Except The Horn Blows at Midnight is a fun movie.
It's actually a good movie.
Not,
time has proven that to be.
Time has been nice, very kind to The Horn Blows at Midnight. Time has been just, people hated it then and they hate it now.
Yeah.
But he made a lot of jokes about it. He's only in it for a second. Danny Thomas is also in it.
Yeah,
that's right.
He sings a song with her because he's a singer too.
He clearly in 1964 he clearly had better things to do.
Yeah, because she comes on his show like what she does with Johnny Carson.
Yeah.
This
character does not deserve to be on the show.
She should not be with them.
But also, there's the scene with George Hamilton. She's doing like a commercial with him.
This made me so mad watching, actually.
Like George Hamilton, 1964 George Hamilton would be in a commercial or anything.
I think he's busy.
Yeah, but anyway, so she like has to kiss him for it, and she's like, "Oh, I have to kiss George Hamilton. I can't do it." I'm like, "Honey, I will trade with you."
I forget why she couldn't, because she's like, "Oh wait, no, I actually want to," but
because he's too handsome. That's I think the joke that he's too famous. No, that's what it was. Like he was too famous and too big, and she's like this little person.
Yeah, so she was nervous, but I would trample her down to get to him.
Be like, I'm nobody. I'll do it. Yeah.
Like you don't even have to film the commercial. I just want to
exactly. I'll just kiss him. I will pay $1 million. You don't even have to pay me.
I mean, I know it might be nervous because you have to compete with all the models he dated. And Susan Kohner.
Right, and like we said, Yvette Mimeo was in this for like a second.
I know, just like Paula Prentice.
Yeah, she doesn't do anything. I'm like, why did you get her?
Like Jim Hutton talks to him for like 2 seconds, and then he does something stupid around them. I think he knocks Paula Prentice out. I was like, dude, you knocked out your leading lady.
I think he hits on like Yvette or something because his character's like a playboy. If I don't remember really. He might, but that just seems like something his character, the asshole character, would do. But it's like, she had better things to do. What is she doing?
They all had better. Everybody in this movie,
every single person,
the main cast and the guest stars had better things to do. And actually, none of the songs are memorable. There's
I don't
not
remember
one
a
song
single
that's good.
one. Like when we get to the beach movies, I hate those movies, but there are some songs I remember in it. I don't remember.
And there's actually
any song
a
in this
joke or
movie.
two that lands. There's not one joke that lands in this movie.
I don't think that is debatable. But anyway, yeah, you are right. There's not one joke that lands in this movie, and it thinks it's being so clever.
No, I mean in some of the beach movies, not all of them, but there was in Ski Party there was one or two jokes we actually liked, but
well, that one was different. That one was like cut above the rest, and that's not saying much, but it was.
But this one, there was really no joke that was funny.
Yeah, it was. And like I said, it thinks it's being so clever, and it's super predictable. You know how this movie's going to end, like right away. I have to talk about. Okay, but first let's talk about. So Connie Francis in this movie. This is why I think her character's an asshole.
Yeah,
her roommate is Susan Oliver,
who we love,
the lovely Susan Oliver, and Susan Oliver
wrote a blog on her.
Susan Oliver works for Jim Hutton. I believe she works for him. She definitely knows him.
She works for him. They actually dated in real life too. So.
Yeah, and that is hot. That's better than anything in this movie.
Well, the whole movie I was waiting for them to kiss. I was like, come on, movie, give me this.
Okay. Yeah, so Susan Oliver works for Jim Hutton, and she clearly is in love with him. For whatever reason, because he's a playboy asshole in this movie. But anyway,
because he looks like Jim Hutton.
Because he looks like Jim Hutton, yeah. But he doesn't act like Jim Hutton.
No, he doesn't.
You know, you need him to also act like Jim Hutton. Anywho, if it was like Jim Hutton and like Walk Don't Run, that'd be fine. But yeah,
don't talk about amazing movies when we're talking about
How dare I bring that movie up?
It hurts because we love Walk Don't Run. But
yeah. But in this, so. Yeah, Susan Oliver clearly is in love with Jim Hutton.
Yeah.
And I think, like, you know, even like, I think Connie Francis even says
she even says, you're in love
with him. And she's like, what? No, but so, okay. So, granted, Susan Oliver denies it, but Connie Francis knows she is in love with Jim Hutton.
And who does she go after? Jim Hutton.
Jim Hutton. Right when she gets famous, she's like, well, I am going to go after the man that my best friend is in love with, and I know it.
That's just the rules of feminism.
Didn't you read the girl code?
Yeah.
You asshole. Anyway, so there's one scene, because this is a scene I really want to talk about, because it's just so cliched.
Yeah.
She's in the grocery store, and she and Susan Oliver are just walking in the grocery store. And then, whoops, she runs into Joby Baker, and they make a big mess. Like, Connie Francis and Joby Baker trip over each other, and all this mess, and all these foods on the floor, and you're like, I wonder who Connie Francis ends up with in this movie.
And naturally, she and Joby Baker would make a cute couple, but they're given nothing to do.
And also, and this is another reason why this character is an asshole. Joby Baker clearly likes her, and she just leads him on. She doesn't even, like, say nicely to him, I'm not interested.
Yeah.
Or she just, like, drags him along, like, well, if I can't get Jim Hutton, this guy's still dragging along. And, okay, Jim Hutton's character in this movie, just because I keep calling him an asshole, and I've explained why, one of the reasons why Connie Francis in this movie is an asshole, but Jim Hutton in this movie is a playboy, and he treats everyone like garbage.
Yeah, he treats women like objects.
Women are objects to him. We kept making, all our jokes were pretty much about boobs. We were like, just making him say boobs, things like that. Because
she's got boobs, because that's all women are to him.
Yeah, that they are, you know, sex organs to this man.
And he's such a talented actor.
He is. So also, there's a scene where so he gets interested in Connie Francis when she like becomes famous. And there's like a scene where they like it's supposed to be awkward where they like kiss
and no bells.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, anyway, so they kiss and it's supposed to be awkward. But I don't think it's supposed to make you go, oh, but it does. It makes you go like, oh, that's disgusting. Like I know both of these characters are awful people, and you would think two awful people probably deserve each other. No, they're awful, but they should stay as far away from each other as possible. Because
the only people that have chemistry in this movie is Jim Hutton and Susan Oliver.
They have
because they were together off screen.
There's a scene in this movie, like it's before that kiss scene I just mentioned, where it's just Jim Hutton and Susan Oliver like kind of arguing with each other because Susan Oliver, I think her character might have Stockholm syndrome in this movie because she keeps having Connie Francis Frances is back, even though Connie Francis is screwing her over.
Yeah.
But she's just so nice, she goes along with it. She is by far the most likable character in this movie.
Easily.
She doesn't deserve any of this, but
Yeah.
anyway.
She needs new friends.
Yeah, she does. So she is arguing with Jim Hutton, and you feel like they're going to rip each other's clothes off. It's not even like,
it's gonna turn into Cheers. Are you as turned on as I am?
It's totally like that. They even
kind of look like
I was gonna say they look like them.
Well, and also we were making Bewitched jokes, I remember, during that.
I Dream of Jeannie.
Oh, yeah, that was it.
Because, I kept joking about that, because, they looked kind of like them next to each other.
They also look like Bewitched.
They do, yeah. So, yeah.
These are all things you could be watching instead of this.
Yeah, instead of this, yeah. But you couldn't make fun of those.
No.
But anyway, so, like, the fight between them, it's not like, it's not like Tennessee Williams style fighting. It's just like, it's pretty calm. Like, she's just kind of arguing with him, and yet you feel like they're gonna rip each other's clothes off, because you're like...
Glenn Ford and Rita Hayworth.
Yeah, because you're like... These two have actual chemistry, and I hate that their movie together is this.
Yeah, they should be in a good movie together. They deserve a better movie than this. The whole cast deserves a better movie than this. Which is really just the big disappointment here. You got the cast, but you don't have the script.
Especially together, because they have good chemistry.
Yeah.
And like we said, they were, doing it in real life, as we say. But,
if you put them in more something like Where the Boys Are, where it actually meant something, and it was both funny while also delivering an important message, like it could have
given Neo something to actually do.
Because she's amazing in that. It would have really been something, but it's just a pile of nothing. It's just a bunch of things that don't go anywhere.
It feels like there are these scenes that have nothing to do with anything, and the plot is nothing. Like, I joked, I said they were looking for love, but they should have been looking for a script, because this movie, I feel like it didn't have
And actually, we're seeing Willie Nelson looking for love
it's hard not to,
yeah.
But I honestly think this movie didn't have a script. I think they just I think they made up a lot of it as they went along. They had an idea, and then they were like
Jim Hutton,
who's popular right now? Well, Connie Francis, Susan Oliver, let's Jim Hutton, let's put them all in this a piece of
Jim
crap.
Hutton, you're an asshole playboy, go with it. Oh, okay.
That's not really my style, but
I'm usually a really nice guy.
Alright, so, as we said, we enjoy making fun of this one, maybe because it's a clusterfuck of things that don't really go together, so there's a lot to work with. It doesn't really follow much of a plot.
Yeah, even though they're assholes, since there is no plot, it's really you can't really get mad at it as mad as you think.
I got mad at the characters more than anything.
Yeah. But it's really I always say it's impossible for me to hate this movie because I had so much fun riffing it.
I don't like it at all.
No, I mean, I don't like it, but I mean, I can't hate it. Like, I hate Sex Kids Go to College with a burning passion. Yeah. I can't hate this movie because I had so much fun riffing it.
I hate it, yet I had fun with it. So I know what you're saying. I do. I get that. But, like, I hated it enough to enjoy riffing it, that's for sure. But I didn't,
It's like the horror of it all when we did that. Like, we had a lot of fun riffing it.
That one's a lot of fun.
I can't hate that movie, even though
it's awful.
Even though it's Hammer and it's just really disappointing. But again,
it's super disappointing.
Yeah, for Hammer, are you kidding me? But at least but again, it was fun riffing it, so I can't really hate it on the inside.
Yeah.
Like, when I think about it, I don't have bad feelings. I'm like, oh, that was fun,
Yeah. I get angry when I think of it again. Francis and Jim Hutton.
So I think of the experience of watching it rather than the film itself.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Which I normally don't do that.
Well, that's the thing with most of these Riffraff movies. Like with actual good movies, you think about the movie in itself. But since we riffed these, I just think about how easy it was to riff. Yeah. Like,
did I have fun riffing?
Did I have fun riffing it? And we had a lot of fun riffing this. One of our favorite riffs, like along with the horror of it all and things like that. But
which was a very early one we riffed. Like that was a pretty early one.
That was. This one was early too.
It was later than that though.
Was it? Because we were in
junior year of college when we riffed this.
I thought we were.
No.
Oh, you're right. We were in junior year. Yeah.
Both of them, I believe. But
we riffed a lot that year.
Yeah.
That's when we did.
And we also did Sincerely Yours that year.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we also did When the Boys Meet the Girls, I think.
Yeah, we did that the next night
Yeah,
from this because we had so much more. Like, let's do another Connie Francis.
That's
movie.
why we did it. I do remember that because I remember like this one was like so cheesy bad. We had to do another one. And yeah, in this case, lightning didn't strike twice. Not that the When the Boys Meet the Girls was tough to riff, but that
No.
it wasn't as fun to riff because, like with Sincerely Yours, it's a remake. And
Yeah.
that gets on your nerves.
Although it is a better movie than Looking for Love, so
that's for sure.
I know.
Yeah.
It's
That's not saying much. I mean, yeah.
But sometimes I think you just have more fun riffing it when it's just just a bad movie.
Yeah.
Rather
you're right.
When
it's really bad, but it's not like offensively bad, and
Yeah.
that's this. It's really bad, but not in an offensive way.
Yeah.
So you have a lot of fun riffing.
Yeah.
And not in like a disgusting way either. Granted,
No.
the way that this movie thinks a woman is questionable.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, it's not like.
Although the plot is so insignificant,
Yeah.
we really can't take anything it says seriously.
Yeah.
So whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even being a feminist, I was like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, I don't care.
This movie is too flimsy to make any argument about
it. This movie doesn't even care about its characters, so why should I? I just care because these are our main characters and I don't like them.
Yeah. And also these are really good actors and you're just wasting
actors
them.
Who deserve way better.
Yeah.
And two people with actual chemistry being wasted.
Yeah.
They do kiss at the end, though, and that
was my favorite part.
That was the best part of this movie. And we were like,
they hear bells, guys!
Yeah, like, you didn't see that twist coming from a mile away. Like, I was like, I liked this movie when it was called Tom, Dick, and Harry. I had a lot of fun. Love that movie.
One of our favorites, actually.
But I do remember when we were watching that scene, we were like, okay, well, that was kind of hot.
Yeah, it was, we couldn't get mad then. We were just like, okay, I liked that.
Yeah. And again, the way end, so you have to sit through so much bullshit.
Yeah, it's like in a fine pair.
It's not worth it.
It's like in a fine pair when you get that 2 second
sex scene. But
we were like, yay!
Overall, that movie.
I know.
That movie makes me madder than this.
No,
at least
I know.
This movie doesn't take itself seriously.
Because that one did.
That movie took itself way
and
too
again,
seriously.
wasting. I don't like it when people are wasted.
Yeah. People I love, like Jim Hutton, don't waste them.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. Speaking of wasted talent.
Oh my goodness, yes. When the Boys Meet the Girls.
So this is a remake of
Girl Crazy.
Woo!
And
the movie we all were dying to have a remake of.
And we love Girl Crazy. Mickey Rooney and
You
Judy
especially. You really love it.
It was the first movie I saw with the two of them together, and I fell absolutely in love with them as a team.
It's probably the first time I've seen them together too.
Yeah, it has a special place in my heart because of that. Because I love Mickey and Judy together. I mean, do you ever? I mean, so talk about such a teammate in heaven. I mean, and two people that genuinely like each other. There's also the Wheeler and Woolsey Girl Crazy, which was kind of butchered by David O. Selznick, but it still has some of their best bits in it. So, so you have two versions of Girl Crazy, and then you have this. And obviously we know which ones are better. Especially Mickey and Judy. I mean, that one is
that one's like a musical classic.
Yeah. All around a great musical.
It's considered. Many people today consider it their best movie together. Back in the day, they probably would have said like Babes in Arms or something. But today, it's like no, the Girl Crazy is the highlight of their two songs.
I think it's that then Babes on Broadway actually, but
that one has a lot of good songs.
I think. But the Mickey and Judy Girl Crazy is funny. It has a fun plot. They're very well cast.
It's a musical. Like, granted, we've seen this type of plot before, but it's a musical that actually like has character.
Yeah,
it has like a plot that you can, just because the actors are so charming, you can get behind them. Yeah.
And you have
you want to see Mickey get Judy,
of course. And you have the Gershwin score, and you have Tommy Dorsey in it. Yeah, playing several other Gershwin songs.
And since they're sung by Judy Garland, they sound really nice. Yeah. Not so much in this.
And you also even have June Allison at the opening, so it's all around just one hell of a musical, and it's one that I hold very dearly. But this one, it kind of just took everything I loved about.
Yeah. So, well, I don't know why they complicated the plot in this one, because in the...
There's so much more plot than anyone
then,
needs in this.
especially for a musical, one with twice the, like, the numbers in it, but...
And it's based off a stage play, why would you just add so much more to that?
Get it. Because in the original, well, we're gonna say in the Mickey and Judy one,
Yeah.
so it's... Mickey goes to school in the West, and he's like a city slicker on a dude ranch. And the school's in trouble.
And so comedy ensues.
Yeah. So he puts on a show and he saves the school.
And he falls in love with the only girl around, Judy Garland.
In this one, okay, so Harv Presnell, sorry. A voice I really like hearing.
Yeah, I like him.
That, you know, his version of, like, They Call the Wind Mariah is really, really good.
Love it.
Go-to version of that song. But
that's a movie you could be watching instead.
You might think, but that's not the perfect musical, but after this, you will think.
Or you could go watch The Unsinkable Molly Brown.
Or, you know, you could watch Girl Crazy.
Yeah. Or you could even watch Fargo. He's in that. Whatever. Just a good movie.
Yeah, you betcha.
Oh yeah, you betcha.
We had to do that, okay? But anyway, so
it's a good movie.
You know, stop talking about better movies.
Okay.
You know? So, well, we're gonna, speaking of better movies now, because we have to compare the two. Well, anyway,
yeah.
The plot in this one, Harv Presnell goes to a school at the dude ranch, kind of.
It's not a school.
It's not a school. No,
it's a university.
It's a university. Yeah, it's a university. But it's not the university he's saving.
Yeah, it's
like
a hotel.
It's a hotel.
He like makes a hotel. So that's why
Connie Francis's like dad owns, like her dad who we never see.
Yeah, you know it's bad when you can't even remember like that there was a school there, which that's the whole basis of the original play.
Yeah,
school.
Yeah, where it's like, couldn't it just be the university that was having trouble?
Yeah, why did you have to add the hotel?
Why'd you have to add all this stuff? Well, it's because we needed
more girls.
Yeah, more girls to come in.
Although in the end of Girl Crazy with Mickey and Judy, they make it co-ed, so in the end there are girls there.
Yeah.
And then the boys are like, "Yay, girls!" Yeah.
Is the college in this co-ed? I didn't think it was.
Yeah, it was.
It was.
I think it became co-ed or something. I don't remember. I honestly
why did it change so much?
I remember the plot, okay, over Mickey and Judy.
Yeah, I don't I remember.
But there were girls there.
Okay,
I think it became co-ed.
Okay.
I don't know.
That's too much to add.
Don't quote me on it. You're going to tell all your friends about this movie, and I don't want to.
And okay, so Harv Presnell and Connie Francis barely sing in this movie.
I know, you get two amazing singers. It's like the beach movies all over again. I'm like, these two people are great singers, and you're not getting them to sing anything. You think in a goddamn beach movie they'd sing a lot. You know, that's kind of the cliche. They do not.
Yeah, not because in that one, the plots in the beach movies hurt, so you want them to stop.
We need more Eric Von Zipper. No singing from Frankie Avalon. I know that's what you really want, but you're not gonna get it.
If you're 5. Alright, so, this movie is a split between Gershwin numbers and, contemporary acts.
Guest stars.
Guest stars. The best part of the movie. Well, it's just
Herman's Hermits.
We got Herman's Hermits. We got Sam the Sham and the Pharaohs.
Liberace,
Louis Armstrong. You know, really good acts.
Yeah.
Who know how to have all this charisma.
Yeah, and they don't get to sing the Gershwin songs, but but Herman's Hermits gets to sing "Biding My Time," easily one of the highlights of the film.
Yes, yeah, they do get to sing.
And they get to sing "Everybody Gets So Listen, People." That's what they sing, but yeah.
And I know Sam the Sham, I think, sings "Wooly Bully" on it.
Yeah, I think they do.
Yeah. Too bad they didn't sing Little Red Riding Hood. That would have been cool. But yeah,
Wooly Bully. I like Wooly Bully.
No, I
love
like
that song,
Bully.
Virginia.
It's super nostalgic.
Why don't you love Wooly Bully? No, I'm joking.
I like Wooly Bully. Don't get me wrong. I do like it. But, Sam the Sham's fun to watch. He's bumping around as he's playing, and yeah. And I mentioned in my review, I said it would have been cool to hear some of them sing the Gershwin songs.
I would love to hear Sam the Sham play.
He can do Wooly Bully and then a Gershwin song. I wouldn't mind that.
That would be
because then the plot is, who cares about the stupid ass plot to this anyway? Let's just have Sam the Sham do stuff.
He should sing Which one would you say? I Got Rhythm. He should sing that one.
Yeah,
Or,
I think he
he
would
could sing
have.
really any of them.
Treat
but
Me
yeah.
Rough.
Oh my god.
I think that would have been fun.
I would have.
Or Louis Armstrong doing Treat Me Rough. Wouldn't that have been amazing? See, we're writing a better movie than this did. But yeah, this is, like we said, Liberace sings Aruba here, and it's way more Liberace than Sincerely Yours, that's for sure.
So at least that's a fun part. Like I said, the guest stars are fun, even though they don't sing the Gershwin songs.
Yeah, we couldn't even riff too much of the guest stars because we
actually enjoyed ourselves.
Yeah, like Herman's Hermits is singing.
I will not. Yeah, a lot of our jokes were just how awesome Peter Noon is.
He is the stud of the movie.
Yeah, we're like, he's dating everybody's girl.
Yeah. I mean, come on, I want to hear ya.
Yeah, he's Peter Noon.
The guy in this movie they actually let sing sometimes. Yeah.
if you can't tell, we're big Herman's Hermits fans. But yeah,
you especially. Yeah, but yeah. I do like Herman's Hermits.
Because you're a person.
So let's talk about the Gershwin numbers because.
The ones that they
are they disappointing? Are they disappointing?
Except for Biding My Time,
because it's sung by Herman's Hermits. Yeah.
They sing "Embraceable You." Connie Francis sings it. It's not a bad version.
I thought the way it was filmed was terrible.
Yeah. So you don't even
the editing was awful.
The studio orchestra did a really good job with that song, but because it kind of crescendos, it's a nice sound. And she has an amazing voice.
And the arrangement of it is bad too. I think because I thought it was the arrangement. Well, no, not that one. I'm thinking of the other one. The other one. I Got Rhythm when they do that.
Yeah, but Embraceable You's
Embraceable You was definitely the more bearable one of all the like non-celebrity Gershwin numbers.
I mean, it's no Judy version, but
no,
yeah, obviously not. But I mean, but it's not a bad number.
It's all right. I wouldn't say. It's like a highlight of the movie. But
it would have been better if they both sang it.
Yes, I would have liked to actually hear Harp Personnel sing, but
yeah. They do I Got Rhythm as like that's
the one I was thinking
of. It's quote unquote a production number.
That's what I meant. Yeah, that's what I meant by saying the editing, the way it was filmed, the arrangement. It's all terrible.
Yeah. And I called it a production number. It's really not. But it has a whole bunch of people dancing, so you feel like it's a production number. It's as close as they get to a production number.
Let's give an example of just how much of a production number this is.
I normally love production numbers, okay? Those are my jam.
There's a part where people are doing tap dancing, and it keeps cutting to the looks of the audience while you're hearing the tapping in the background. You're like, wait, shouldn't we just be focusing on the tap dancers right now? They're not actually doing anything, are they? You just showed us what they can do.
Like there are,
or you didn't want to choreograph anything.
Yeah. There are people behind the scenes who are doing all the tap dancing. I'm sure.
I'm sure it's just people making tap noises, like, oh, somebody's dancing. Take our word for it.
Like I said, someone at the studio they actually recorded the tapping.
Yeah,
but they weren't in the movie. I bet
because they were too old or something. Maybe.
Yeah, probably. Someone who actually can tap.
But also, like I said, the arrangement of this
is awful.
It's bad. And you would think, oh, but Harp Personnel and Connie Francis can sing.
Yeah.
This isn't their type of song,
and
first of all.
Yeah. It's also, it comes in the middle of the movie while it's the grand finale, and the Mickey and Judy one, it's done by Busby Berkeley, so obviously...
And it's a big number.
Yeah, so obviously it's naturally inferior if Busby Berkeley did it.
It's like the climax of the movie.
Yeah. If Busby Berkeley did it, naturally this one's more inferior, because Busby Berkeley is amazing. But you also have Tommy Dorsey doing it, and just the whole number is eye-opening.
Yeah.
While this one, you forget it the moment it's over, except the only reason you remember is because of how disappointing it is.
Yeah. Because, we were like, oh, well, at least we're getting I Got Rhythm now. Nope, it's awful.
Yeah, you feel nothing at first but disappointment.
And I feel like a difference between, getting, like, such... it's not fair to talk about Judy Garland in comparison to this, but, I mean, like, she can sing both Biding My Time and I Got Rhythm, and, she could sing...
Embraceable You.
Yeah, Embraceable You, but Not For Me. She could sing all these numbers in the same movie. But yet she... Right, but Not For Me is from Girl Crazy, isn't it?
I don't remember it being in this version, but...
it's not in it, I don't think. If it is, it's fucking
I don't
forgettable.
remember it.
But
that's a great song.
No, it's a great song, especially when Judy sings it. But
oh my god, yeah. Doesn't your heart break when she sings it?
But she can do all those numbers. Most singers I don't think could do all those very different numbers from each other. I'm sure on stage it was sung by all those songs were sung by different people.
Yeah,
for different numbers. But
I know Ginger Ryder, she was on the stage version. She did "Embraceable You." I know. And she might have done, but not for me. I'm not sure. But I remember her talking about it. But
yeah, but here Connie Francis couldn't sing one song, and Harp Prisnell can sing one song. But yeah, there will be another song that's not really their style.
Yeah,
not that they're they're good singers. Don't get me wrong.
So they should have given more of the songs to them instead of just powering them out with everybody else singing them.
True, but you should have. I feel like gotten more instead of like Harp Prisnell's closer because he's more of a standard singer as opposed to a pop singer like Connie Francis is. But his voice is so booming, it doesn't necessarily go with the material. It'd be like getting Howard Keel to do this. Yeah. That'd be way better, but I
would watch the hell out of that.
Yeah, but it wouldn't match.
Yeah.
That voice doesn't go with these songs.
Yeah, it should really be someone...
If you're gonna do that, you're gonna have to change the way the song is arranged and how the key the song is.
And they don't.
They don't.
Mean,
it's left the same.
I don't...
It's left... like, you're making these singers do things that look uncomfortable for them.
Yeah, singers
and sound uncomfortable.
Like, it should be done by a singer more like Victim under Andy Williams, someone with that kind of range.
Yeah,
not an almost operatic singer.
Yeah, he
sounds like Lawrence Tibbett. Why would Lawrence Tibbett sing songs like this?
Yeah, Connie Francis again is a pop singer, maybe a little closer to this.
Yeah, she could sing songs like this, obviously,
but compare how she sings, Embraceable You to I've Got Rhythm. She doesn't sound as good singing I Got Rhythm as she does singing Embraceable You. All right. Any other like comparisons you want to make?
Oh my. Well, again, there's like no dancing in this, so that's unfortunate.
No.
And the little dancing there was not impressive.
I feel like they half-assed the Gershwin numbers so much because they're like, well, we'll get celebrities to be in this.
If Herman's in it, nobody's gonna notice.
If Herman sings like like their number one song right now, everybody will be okay with it. Well, no, because your movie is still shit. Even if it has these good guest stars in it and these good numbers that they're singing. I mean, who doesn't want to hear like, listen, people, we're bully or something like that? But I mean, granted, this movie shouldn't have been remade at all.
No, absolutely not.
But why couldn't you do that with something else?
Just do Girl Crazy. Like, in Looking for Love, you get as many guest stars as you want. Actually make them sing something, whatever.
Or you could have had a similar plot to Girl Crazy. You changed enough of it anyway, and then just had the guest stars do numbers. Yeah. And then you could have had an original song for Harv and... For Harv, that actually suits his vocal cords, and for Connie, that actually suits hers.
Yeah. Or just, I said, get the guest stars, use them in something else, and just keep Girl Crazy, Girl Crazy.
Yeah. But I feel like they changed enough of the plot that it could have been inspired by Girl Crazy, but it wouldn't have been Girl Crazy. So you could have just left Gershwin alone, because clearly you didn't care enough about these songs to put any effort into them. And then just have, get some... original songs, or at least just find some songs that suit these two singers. Yeah. Give them stuff to do, and also you can focus on the guest stars. And it would be like one of those old rock movies that we saw with a more bearable plot.
But then we won't have to compare it to a much better movie.
Yeah, exactly. Because then you're just asking for trouble. You're asking to be compared with Mickey Rooney and Judy Garland singing these songs.
That's never gonna work.
Yeah.
You can't... They're as talented as the day is long.
Yeah, and they have actual chemistry together.
Yeah, and
they characters
and they can sing, dance, and act.
Mm-hmm. And these songs... And they have voices that suit these songs. Yeah, they don't sound out of place. Whereas, I mean, it's baffling why in the 60s they wanted to do Girl Crazy, but they did, and
they tried updating it just didn't work,
and they tried changing way too much of it,
adding more girls and stuff, and
it just
Joby Baker's in this too.
Yeah, he is,
and he and a girl likes him and he doesn't notice her, and she's way out of his league.
She is way out of his league. It was like we kept joking, we're like, wait, okay, Joby, why don't you notice this girl? You gotta go for it.
And he does eventually. I'm like, okay, good. He got grew a brain.
Yeah, apparently she's a garbage person, and
she was really nice.
No, she was this girl is nice and out of his league. Yeah. He should be so lucky, But
I miss Blackbeard's ghost.
Oh my gosh. I wouldn't be surprised if I just kept thinking of throughout all these movies, just like I was probably thinking the whole time I could have been watching this,
Yeah,
this,
exactly.
this.
Just name all the good
Yeah.
movies these people are in. It's like
Yeah.
Looking for Love, like all the like supporting cast. I'm like, I could be watching them in this.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and all the guest stars. It's like, or I could just watch, Herman's Hermits in general, or
Yeah.
listen to them instead of watching this piece of
Yeah,
garbage.
if you actually want to watch Herman's Hermits, go watch Mrs. Brown, You Got a Lovely Daughter, where they're the actual stars of it.
Or go listen to Sirius XM, where Peter Noonan does does the 60s on 6 show now, yeah.
Because he's amazing.
Still has the Manchester voice.
I know, he's so cute. Oh my god.
But, this movie, existence doesn't make sense.
Yeah. And again, like all the ones before, it's disappointing. It had potential.
It's disappointing, and it's a clusterfuck.
Yeah. It could have at least been a pretty good film. It might not. It probably would not have ever been as good as Mickey and Judy's, but it could have been pretty good.
I think the closest thing that's one, besides obviously the casting, that this one has in common with Looking for Love is that you're like, what? Why was this made? You're like, it's clear no thought or effort was put into this, and it's just like it in that regard. The only difference is, well, Looking for Love I would say, is more fun to Riff than this, because this one is just like, you're like, I could be watching Girl Crazy, or
you have to just
I could
keep comparing.
Yeah. Or, can we stop with this bullshit plot and just go back to the guest stars? Can you get some more guest stars?
Like in Looking for Love, the songs were forgettable, but at least they suited Connie Francis. Yeah. Here, none of them sue her.
Yep. Closest one was embraceable.
One of the people that sings, I think, with Louis Armstrong, or she's a character in the movie that Harv keeps like hitting on. Yeah. She could not sing. Nope. So that was fun. I'm like, okay, you have Connie Francis and you have her singing these songs.
You couldn't just go to, I'm sure if you went to whatever small town this was filmed in, if it was filmed in a small town, go to the local high school, say, who's the best singer here? Get over here, you're going to be in a movie, and sing one song. Yeah. Boom, you got a better singer.
I mean, she might have been a good actress, but she cannot sing. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I never. Actress? I don't remember.
I never. That's what I mean. Like,
she could have. I'm sure she could have been picked for her acting. Yeah, that's what you're saying. Yeah.
But who would know? Because the movie doesn't give her anything to do aside from sing, which she can't do.
Mame syndrome.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it is one of those movies that didn't need to exist, and I doubt it made a lot of money when it came out.
It actually was a flop.
Oh, big fucking surprise! Yeah,
I learned that from hearing the commentary of the Mickey and Judy Girl Crazy,
because they were talking about it. That's so funny. Oh my gosh. Like, just to depress you guys, let's talk about When the Boys Meet the Girls.
But he just says it was remade. It was not a success. That's basically what he said. He didn't even get into much detail. I don't think he wanted to talk about it.
Well, you could have fooled me, because this looked like a surefire hit. No.
Why talk about...
I can't believe a Gershwin musical, slightly updated, didn't do well in the 60s. I can't believe that.
Also, what are the boys from Manchester doing on a dude ranch?
I don't know. I think they say something about it.
But it doesn't make sense.
I'm sure there are plenty of nice schools in Manchester they could be attending.
Or just anywhere in England. You go to Oxford, God. Cambridge.
Yeah. It's baffling. Alright, anything else you want to add?
Just, if you get a chance, riff these movies, but don't actually watch them.
Yeah, no, never just sit back and watch these, unless you're weird and you enjoy it.
Or if you just want to, maybe watch a campy movie and just, make fun of it in your head, sure, because I had to do that in some of my film classes. I'd be like, okay, time to make fun in my head, because I can't do it out loud. Alright, go ahead.
Okay, so, and we're gonna end with some suggestions for the weekend if you want to watch something this weekend. Alright, on our blog for the weekend, I have one movie that I recommended that falls on Saturday. It's Young Cassidy with Rod Taylor, where he plays Sean O'Casey. You recommended this one before. Did. I have not, so I recommended it this week.
And Maggie Smith's in it, so double points.
The whole supporting cast is awesome in it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Flora Robeson, don't love her.
Michael Redgrave.
Oh hell yeah.
All right, and you have one too as well.
I have Brewster's Millions. Fun fact: I was in this play
You were, yeah.
in high school. At the Neil Hamilton part, they made it a girl.
I auditioned for this and I did not get in.
Well, anyway,
I was better than a lot of you know. I don't.
No,
care.
I'm sure you were, but yeah.
You're like, no, trust me, you were.
No, I'm just saying maybe you were. I don't know. I don't remember.
Nice.
I don't remember everybody else very like their acting abilities, but anyway,
you only cared about you.
It's me. That's Thor from the Sun. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, Brewster's Millions.
Talk about the actual movie now.
It's a fun comedy.
Stop talking about yourself.
Yeah, all I could do is talk about myself. God. So Brewster's Millions. It stars Dennis O'Keefe, who we love.
Yeah.
It has a really great supporting cast as Misha Auer, Eddie Rochester Anderson. So it's a pretty good it's a pretty faithful adaptation, even though it updates it to post-war. It's actually an adaptation that works because they keep the same general plot, just add some modern references. So it's fun.
Yeah. That's a plot that actually makes sense to update to the modern era. Imagine that. All right, guys. See you next week. And it looks like next week we will. Do you want to do more? You want to do more riff on?
Yes,
Riffraff?
sir. And then April will be cartoon month, so
Yep.
we'll be talking about those.
Yep. I started trying to binge this week. Just yesterday, I was catching up on some. So. Definitely, I'm going to be spending a lot of time doing that. Sometimes it makes movies have to take a back seat for a little bit just because I have to binge so many cartoons. Not that I mind, because I like having time that I set aside for them. But yeah. All right.
Bye.